This dad designed shoes to give his paralyzed daughter the sensation of walking. A mum visiting her son, who was a royal guard at work. This one hit me right in the feels. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. My dad just sent me this to prove he has hair. All this proves is that he has an incredibly powerful aura. Ever since my niece saw Toy Story, she shouts, "I'm leaving," and then peeks at her room like this. I'm crying. My mum made my guinea pigs a house, complete with couches, art, and baby pictures. Penguins only have one partner throughout their entire life and often propose by giving their mate a pebble. I took him out shopping for his birthday. I told him he could get anything he wanted, and man picked out soap. This veteran was asked by a little girl if he would do it again. He said, "Yes, for you." Grass cells under a microscope. They look so happy. My dad died in a mid-air collision 41 years ago today, when I was 8 weeks old. If he had ejected, his plane would have landed in a school. He chose not to eject. My friend's dog won't walk through doorways forward. He ran into a glass patio door when he was a puppy, and now he's scared. Someone called the cops on some friends being loud, playing Smash Bros, but the cops ended up playing. My aunt made a drive-in for all of the kids in the family, and this is exactly how extra I want to be when I'm older. I gave my grandma $2 to get me an Arizona tea and a Reese's cup, and she brought me this and gave my money back. This perfectly describes grandmas. Daughter teaches dad how to take selfies, and this is what happens. Met this sweet man at Outback. He saw us at prom and showed us a picture of him and his wife at prom in 1949. Best friend goals. Woman moves into the same retirement home after being friends for 80 years. My mom watching her baby hold her own baby. This is the sweetest picture I've ever seen. Dogs wait patiently outside hospital for homeless owner to get better. They chased an ambulance for miles. If you know me, you know how much I loved my hair, but I loved my dad more. You got this, homie. Was it a bad day? Or was it bad 5 minutes that you milked all day? I did not need such a personal attack. Today for my birthday, my grandpa gave me 3 books filled with stories of each time he hung out with me, from the age of 2 to 5. I am speechless. Not all superheroes wear capes. That man in the red shirt is using his force to stop the bad. Gentle reminder, saying how you feel will never ruin a real connection. Alright, but why is that on a semi-truck? I invited a girl I am crushing on over today, and she was like, "By the way, I woke up at 6 a.m. and baked you some bread. I'm losing it. You were so terrified when we brought him home 2 days ago. Now, he's a member of the family. Good boy. I bite racists. I would die for this dog." Wait, what does that mean? Going to tell you what I can hear now that I got my hearing aids. Birds. They chirp. It's so beautiful. Far away cows moo. He said, "I'm broke, so I went around cutting flowers to make you a ghetto bouquet." A visual representation of no excuses. My son has parked his bike by this lamppost just about every day for the last year. This morning, this sticker had appeared. Absolutely made our day. People can be so brilliant. Thank you, whoever did it. So, my parents gifted me a puffy vest. They then revealed that they own the same one. Now, we have a matching family outfit. 0 Indian rhinos were poached in 2022 for the first time in 45 years. Flying home for the holidays, I dressed to surprise the family. Before the flight, I met this stranger at the airport. Instant best friends. This student created his own cozy atmosphere today. This sweet little boy has been having a hard time since his pop passed away. He's been praying for a little stuffy of pop that he can carry around with him. He chose this photo. Ending your life is never the answer. You have to outlive your enemies. This is strangely motivational. Seriously, this just spoke to me in the most intense, odd way. My grandma just served my kids nuggets and fries in their kiddie pool. This is why grandmas should live forever. Someone from 1997 wished me good luck. It's like someone from so many years back knows your struggles, and I think I'm going to cry. My granddad has a hat for each university his grandchildren attend, and today I got to give him mine. This man waits for his wife to get out of class every day. Sat next to a young guy on a flight to Chicago who was using the most broken and busted up old iPhone I've ever seen. I asked if I could send him my old iPhone X, and he looked at me like I was crazy, but I'm a man of my word. Merry Christmas, boss. I was going to say some dumb stuff, but then Google hit me with the feels. Knock knock. Who's there? I hope it's you, because you're the best. Look at how happy my dad is. He just started baking school, and I'm so proud. My dad takes pictures of the dogs at the houses he works on, and posts them on his business Facebook page as Employee of the Week. Went to my brother's graduation and saw a little girl taking pictures of her dad, who had just graduated too. It was just them two. She's so proud of him. Some species of burrowing spiders keep teeny tiny spiders in their burrows to keep it free of bugs too small for the spider to get that might try and eat the spider's egg. This means that tiny frogs are spider cats. Even if you hate spiders, you can't hate this. Single dad in Thailand wore a dress to a Mother's Day event for for his sons so that they didn't feel left out. Knocked out of the World Cup, the Japanese fans are still staying behind after the game and tidying up the mess in the stadium. Brazilian drug dealer kidnaps medical staff, makes them vaccinate community against yellow fever. Oh, y'all wanted a twist. People get so caught up on one small thing they don't like their nose or something. Things like salt and baking powder go into a cake, and those things are gross alone, but the cake is pretty damn delicious. This is the most confidence-boosting text post I have ever read. Always thinking about how the US Geological Survey could not classify this bee, so they put its genus and species into their official government files as bee cute furry face. Colorado Animal Shelter staff celebrates inside empty cages after all of its dogs are adopted in time for Christmas. IKEA got children around the world to design toys for them, and they are just so cute. I cannot. My sister's student today took an empty tissue box and brought his piano outside of school to help raise money for my dad's cancer. He raised $12 and brought it back to my sister as a surprise. Surgeon Ted is paralyzed from the waist down after his illness. Even that doesn't stop him from saving people's lives. Today, a customer told me that he got this dog almost 2 years ago, and then added, "Yup, we got Sophie, then a couple months later my wife passed. Just been me and Sophie ever since. Would not trade her for anything." He carries her around everywhere like this, and it's too cute not to share. Couple buys out Payless store, then donates all of the shoes to a woman's shelter. Smartest dad in the world, the one who told his son to keep playing video games. His son, Kyle, 16, won the Fortnite World Cup and the $3 million prize. With all of the negative stories going around in the news, I decided to spread some positivity and bought 8 of my cousins and my 2 sisters their school supplies. Yo, my son just graduated from school. A house near us puts these bears out each day, doing a different activity every time. It's all I live for currently. Fiona can touch her tippy toes. Keep growing, Fiona. I remember you said you liked, so I got you some. Honestly, people who take the time to remember the small things about you are the best kind of people. I bought a phone case online, but did not realize it was for 6+, so I gave it to my dad and he loves it. I rescued a stray cat in my neighborhood. At night, his brother would come visit him. I really had no other options. Her eyes looked like a Disney character's eyes. I just saw a man pick up and carry 2 golden retrievers, large ones, one on each shoulder. He was saying, "You always do this. You said you wanted to go for a walk," as he picked them up. I kept refusing to take my wife to the local livestock household item auction. Finally buckled. Now we have a goddamn peacock. I slingshotted my son's sticky bug to the ceiling, and as you can tell, they are both fascinated and excited for it to fall down. My dad is a lawyer, and he takes his dog, Franny, to work. He trained her to deliver documents to other lawyers. She gets paid in milk bones. She did not remove her paws while they were sleeping, the sign of a good relationship. I hid under the bed to scare my boyfriend while he was in the bathroom, and when he came out, he saw I was gone, and I watched him get all excited and run into the closet to wait and scare me. I was sitting under my bed, crying, laughing. I got my girlfriend emotional support fries because I have no idea what the fuck she's saying half of the time. She loves them. I grew my hair out for over a year to be Bob Ross for Halloween. My wife was a little happy tree. How am I supposed to study when my hedgehog just sits there, waiting for me to give him attention? Sorry, I cannot talk right now. I found 2 frogs, made them a little house, and made them get married. I wanted to die after my ex left me, but then I met this woman that does weird shit like this with me. Life is about growth and doing weird shit. Close-up picture of a ladybug after morning dew. This fella got into a tent with 26 soldiers at night, somehow passed the man on watch duty, climbed into a box with food, ate cheese, cookies, spilled sugar, coffee, and fell asleep in that box, and that's where they found him in the morning. I put these clocks up when my 4 children started traveling and living abroad, and I keep them set to the time zone where each of them are. This morning, for the first time in almost 3 years, they are all on the same time. My parents are taking the news of my career change well. A hand model for Bourbon. Are you insane? It's 100k a year. I would like to apologize for my earlier comments. This is Darzia Taylor. She invented a new type of sutter that changes color to show if a wound is infected. She's only 17. I am the corny friend who stopped in the middle of our hangout session to announce how much fun I am having and how great it feels to be having it with all of my friends, because those moments are special to me. Every moment I'm happy is special to me. I'm grateful to access that feeling. Hoping to encourage tourism, Scotland placed a couple of Shetland ponies in sweaters, and it might be the best promotional campaign ever. How cute is my granddad's text? My pot of gold under the rainbow. Why are dads so dramatic? I borrowed his charger and forgot to put it back, and now it's been super glued into the wall. This dog looks how exactly resonance painters thought dogs looked like, and I'm in love. 1.5 million people have signed up to storm Area 51. What could go wrong? wrong? Why can't we get 1.5 million people to sign up to clean the oceans? How lovely that we humans, a race that love petting things, live in a world full of creatures that love to be petted. Truly marvelous. Someone has turned the red light at my favorite traffic lights into a heart. Why do you have a favorite traffic light? Because there's always a duck next to it. Because of their naturally friendly dispositions. Samoyeds usually make for terrible guard dogs. They don't attack threats, they just kind of smile and bark at them. Tofu met his family. A college bathroom hides a bizarre Danny DeVito shrine, and we have questions. My wife took a bath, and the pets, who all hate being washed, came into the bathroom to make sure she was okay. For the past 3 years, my wife has made me a Yoshi cake for my birthday. They are always terrible, but I don't care. So, last summer, I randomly met this 80-year-old woman on Words with Friends. We played 300 plus games, and she actually ended up becoming a good friend of mine. Today, I got to go see her in person. So, my mum came up to me and said, "Your first night home, when you were born, you slept with me in bed. Would you mind if I slept with you in your bed because it's your last night home with me?" 21 Savage is throwing his third annual Is a Back to School drive this year. The event provides kids in Atlanta with school supplies, clothes, and haircuts. He will also begin his campaign, Bank Account, which helps kids learn how to handle their finances. I spent 7 years in special education, graduating with a 1.8 GPA. A teacher said I was not going to college. Now I'm a VCU graduate and a best-selling author. The school my mum works at just built a shed a few inches from her classroom window. She was sad about not having a window view anymore, so the students did this. In 1993, Tupac received a letter from the parents of a dying boy named Joshua. They said it was Joshua's last wish to meet Tupac. Tupac flew to Maryland to meet Joshua and took him to a basketball game. Soon after Joshua's death, Tupac renamed his publishing company from Ghetto Gospel Music to Joshua's Dream, who graffitied some cool Ray-Bans on me and a mustache. I'm not even mad. A 19-year-old dog is taken into the lake every night by his owner, John, to help soothe the arthritis and help him fall asleep. Amazing. So I'm driving and I notice the guy behind me is cute, so I'm checking him out in my rearview mirror and he deadass airdrops me his number. Today, this little 3-year-old tried to pay for her family's dinner with a Barbie credit card. I took the card and made her a little checkout to make it seem like she did, and she tipped me $3. Millennials are buying homes because of their dogs, not because of children or marriages. They want a better yard for their best friend. What the fuck? When a Newton family welcomed a baby who is deaf, 20 neighbors learned sign language. My little brother was hit by a car today, and he says he's lucky he's Spider-Man, or else he wouldn't have survived. I'm one of the Spidey's writers and creators of Miles Morales. Can I send your brother a care package? Thank you so much, Brian. Styles loves his comics, and I am sure this is all he will be reading for a long time. Thank goodness for your Spidey sense. We are glad to hear our favorite web slinger is okay. A 3-year-old cancer survivor served as a flower girl in her bone marrow donor's wedding. Now this is the news I want to see. I made this bird feeder. Come get your seeds. Went to the shelter to look at dogs, but they did not have any there. But once this little girl saw me, she started pouring at her cage. Now I have a new friend forever. My friends have a dog with separation anxiety, and someone suggested they get a dummy while they're away to make the dog feel better, and they sent them this, and I cannot stop laughing. When you are trying to buy food from your daughter's pretend restaurant, and she comes back saying your card was declined. First of all, the service is horrible, and the prices are outrageous. When you step on your dog's paw and treat them good for the rest of the day. UK airport sniffer dog, good at finding sausages, but not drugs. Let him have the sausage. I almost scrolled past this, like some kind of idiot. Bunny is born without ears, and its owner makes some. Please don't like those, like or horrifying things will happen to you. Yeah, this is the immunity dog, but you only I'm not even gonna say that. You don't have to subscribe. Today I learned that tigers cannot purr. To show happiness, tigers squint or close their eyes. This is because losing vision lowers defense, so tigers only purposely do it when they feel comfortable and safe. If the car is not low enough to pet a good boy, are you really living? Baby armadillo, humans will pet anything. 22 years ago, we locked eyes and fell deep. Look forward to the next 22, young lady. Love you, my forever. I just spent so long prying my step-grandmother's locket open, and it was 100% worth it. My grandma sends these every day. She is the purest thing on earth, and we have to protect her at all costs. I never want my kids to mess up and think, Dad's going to kill me. I want their first thought to be, I need to call my dad. Parenting with fear is not parenting at all. I'm moving tomorrow, and the old black lady that lives next to me just said, I'm going to miss you. I used to stay up every night when you would go out with your friends, and I would not go to sleep until I heard your door close, and I knew you made it home safe. My cat and I are both 22. Every time I left for college, I would say goodbye, not knowing if she would still be around when I got back. I graduate next weekend. He made it. I love you, Yellow. As a gay man, I was nervous to invite my boyfriend to my grandparents' house because of their traditional values. This was my grandpa's reply. Mom might have told you already, but my boyfriend is coming to dinner tonight. Hope that's okay. Splendid. Can he arm wrestle? Ricky was just acting like he wasn't my boyfriend at the gym, saying to me, "You look nice in those leggings. Can I take you out sometime?" This girl, that I don't know, comes up to me and says, "Hey, are you ready to leave?" I informed her he was my boyfriend. "But girl, I appreciate you." So my boyfriend comes home last night, absolutely smashed, gets undressed, and then just stands there in my room. So I'm like, "Are you coming into bed?" And he goes, "No thank you. I am sure you're lovely, but I have a girlfriend," and goes to sleep on the floor. This young man I hired as a temporary helper, off the streets with no home, no clothes, living under a bridge 7 months ago. Well, he has not missed a day, has never been late, not one complaint, has reunited with his parents, has a car, has clothes, and is now an official employee with benefits. An amazing story and individual. God is good. I went through a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, crying, and a girl asked me if I wanted a chocolate or vanilla milkshake, and I was like, "No, I ordered a sweet tea," and she goes, "No honey, you need a milkshake." Service, unmatched. Someone's about to be very happy. Lol, a boy messaged me on Instagram. This is really weird, but we matched on a dating app like 4 years ago, and you said you wanted to be a sports writer, and I just came across an article of yours today, so congrats. Why am I tearing up? My mom just came home from having drinks with her friend, and now they are having a sleepover in the guest room while my dad is bringing them food. I've been working at Little Caesars since 1998 and always said one day I would own one. It took longer than I had planned, but today I can officially say I own a franchise, moving 400 miles, and have been having to travel with my cat, who unexpectedly loves car rides. Imagine if we didn't have cats and you could only see them in zoos. We would go and be like, "OMG, there were these micro panthers in all different colors, and they are beautiful, and why can't I have one?" But we do get to have them, and it's amazing. That is what I'm thankful for today. The vet's office sent me a last boop I was not expecting. This hit me so hard. OMG, it's the alphabet, but with cats. I remember when I was so in love, I had my girl's number saved under a totally different vibration pattern and text tone, so I would know whether my phone was worth pulling out of my pocket or not. A mum came into the library with her kids in a stroller. As they strolled into the children's section, a little girl started waving her arms in the air in excitement, singing, "Hello library, hello books. I told you I would be back." For the past year, a very nice man has been standing on the bridge that was on my way to work with a sign saying he was having a hard time and could use a hand. Today, this is what it reads. "My last week out here, I got a job. Thank you to everyone who has helped me during this hard time. The mafia in my hometown ran a pizza chain as a front, and it got so popular that the head of the family just stopped doing crimes, and now they do pizza full time. Do you think my dad likes my new tattoo? No. When my son was 3, he had a guinea pig named Rufus. One day he left the cage open and Rufus disappeared. I bought a replacement, never told my son, and things were going fine until the original showed up, and I had to pretend that it was his cousin, Roger from Philly. A group of women called the 9 Nanas kept a secret for decades that not even their husbands knew. For 30 years, they met at 4 a.m. and anonymously paid bills, bought clothes for people in need. Each care package came with a homemade pound cake and a note that read, "Somebody loves you." My mom died when I was 11. Recently, I was contacted by someone on Facebook who interviewed her for her dissertation and had found the tape recording. So this weekend, I heard her voice for the first time in more than 25 years. I swear, it's the quietest people with the best personality. It's this kid that used to sit at the table by himself, really quiet, and used to have his jacket zipped all the way to cover his face with head down. We invited him to our table, and he is one of the nicest people ever. I came to the table today, and he was like, "I made you some cookies. Never judge a book by its cover. Always give people a chance." As some might know, my dad is mentally and physically handicapped, so especially now that he is older, he is unable to work or earn an income, but he has been saving his pocket change for the past month for some reason, and I thought nothing of it until I came home from work from this today. Coffee money. Love Dad. There has been a spider in my bathroom for 1 month. I refused to kill him. I named him Philip. Every time somebody tries to use the bathroom, they tell me to kill him, but I make excuses and won't do it. He is like my roommate, but instead of paying rent, he protects me from other gross creatures like mosquitoes. Philip, if you're reading this, thanks man. Guys who wore these to school sacrificed any chance at having a girlfriend for their hobby, and I can respect that. Fun fact, in middle school, a friend of mine would always bring these to class. One day, a girl did the same and and challenged him to a duel and lost pretty badly. Turns out she liked him a lot and decided to learn the game, so she had a reason to approach him. They are still together, 12 years later. Men have read it. What makes you feel manly? Carrying my sister's kids, 2 nephews and a niece around. They always ask me to pick them up whenever I see them, so I started lifting weights a couple of years ago, just so that I could keep doing it as they got bigger. It worked out as intended. I got a lot stronger, and now the boys are 9 years old, and I can still carry one of them under each arm. They love it since their mother cannot pick them up anymore, and their happiness makes me feel good too. Stop for a second. Think about all the people you've secretly had a crush on, all of the people you have found attractive but never actually said anything to, every stranger you've temporarily fallen in love with on public transportation, all the people you've dreamt of and thought of in the early mornings. Now, take a moment to realize that you may have been this person for so many people, and you have no idea.